All right, we haven't done this in a while. Let me take my cursor off the screen there. Don't need that. I don't need that at all. Here we go. It's been so long, I've probably forgotten all of my skills. Not that I had very many skills to begin with, but I like to pretend. I like to pretend I had skills. Back in the day. Back before they ruined the game for me. I don't know how they did that, but they did somehow. I'm sure of it. That's why I'm bad at it now and not like I used to be. That's totally an excuse you can get behind, right? Totally get behind that. Totally going for that. So hey guys, how's it going? It's been a long time. It feels like a long time since we've done a Divinity stream. It's not actually true. We've done a Divinity stream pretty recently. It wasn't last week, but it was the week before. It just feels like, for some reason, it's been forever. No idea why. I don't even remember where we were. So that's going to take a minute. I think we were doing battles. We weren't doing well on most of the battles, but we were able to actually survive the last one, I believe. So that worked out. Spider-Man is going well, and I'm looking forward to playing more of it. As you can tell by the fact that I brought it up, even though I just finished playing it. Whoa, we just snuck in there. Okay, we're just fucked. We snuck through the greens. There's no way we could have made that work. That's too bad. Oh well. Spider-Man's going well, but I have a feeling, I have a sneaking suspicion I am towards the end of that game. It really feels like it's heading up towards a climax, and that's going to be it. It's going to be over. I guess I can ask Smidgy. She actually played Spider-Man. I can ask her how far I am. Because I'm trying to think out, you know, what do I need to play next? I don't know. I don't have any good ideas. The only thing that came up as even a possibility would be playing Skyrim for like the 12th time, but this time would be like on camera. Could get behind that maybe if I do like voice attack with to do all the shouts. That could be interesting. Say Fushro Da, it actually does the Fushro Da. I could do that. It's silly though. Nothing wrong with being silly. I don't know, there's a bunch of good games out there, like Outward. Outward's a fantastic game. It's getting a lot of press right now. Well, I don't know if it's actually fantastic. I haven't actually played it, but it looks great. Suppose I shouldn't go too deep into the hype, huh? Gotta be careful of that. Yeah, Outward's a possibility. I definitely want to play Outward. I guess I have no idea what the actual story is for Outward. It looks very pretty. The mechanics are very interesting. I am interested in playing the game. But if, like, the story sucks, I kind of don't want to play it. But I don't know if the story sucks. I know the voice acting is inconsistent, I suppose would be a nice way to phrase it. Hopefully they'll fix that in a patch. They did for Divinity, right? Divinity Original Sin 2 had some very, very spotty voice acting. This is not going to work. I thought I'd be able to get to that in time. Would not able to do that. It had some very spotty voice acting in the first release. And then they put it up the Definitive Edition, which is what we're playing now, and now everything is voiced, which I think is much, much better. Wow, that was like getting a little bit too close. I'm totally going for the peach, though. Yeah, so now everything's voiced, which is exactly as it should be, I think. Okay, nope, that was the wrong move to make. I was trying to get out of the way of Pinky there. Did not make it. Other possibilities, of course, are a bunch of other indie games. Lena's Inception, I really liked the look I got of it, and I think I want to play more. Finishing it wouldn't be too bad. I think we could actually finish that game in like under 10 hours, I'm pretty sure. Another one of the belt. You know, we did like 20 games last year. I think it was 20. I'll have to pull up the list again. But I keep a list of all the games I finish every year. And last year, by far superior to all the other ones. Now, that could be because I did play a lot of indie games last year, and indie games traditionally are going to be shorter. I think we got a lot of under 20-hour game or 20-episode games in, so that definitely could have like bolstered the numbers, maybe arguably artificially. And you know, the actual raw numbers don't matter so much. Oh, I did not get out of that. Right, it matters whether or not I'm having fun. Really, I think with all the bullshit going on with AAA games right now, like everyone having their own launcher and people like abandoning the Steam store or getting bought out or what the fuck's going on, it's like I don't give a shit. Like I don't want that to detract from the fact that games are good to play. Like I'm gonna be Borderlands 3 is going to suck. But it shouldn't suck because of the launcher it's on. It should suck because, you know, of an actual, like, problem with the game. The game itself, rather than anything else. So if I want to get away from all that noise, it seems like the best way to get away from that noise is to play, well, either on console, which has its own exclusivity things. But I've kind of already bought into that kind of exclusivity, so it makes sense. But then, or just play, you know, indie games, which, I mean, okay, there might be some exclusivity. Like, there's some indie games on Steam you're never going to find anywhere else. There's also some indie games on, like, itch.io that you're never going to find anywhere else. So, I think I'm okay with that side of it. And the exclusivity just, it seems like a dick move, mostly. I mean, I was looking really forward to Outer Worlds. But now I don't know if I want to install yet another launcher. The funny thing is, I was thinking of playing Star Wars Old Republic, which has its own launcher. The one reason why I haven't actually dived into that in depth, though, is because I changed phones. And for two-factor authentication to work, it needs a phone to work. And it's tied to my old phone. And in order to connect it to my new phone, I need to actually call somebody. Guess what I hate doing? More than almost anything in the world. Actually calling somebody. I will 9 times out of 10 not do something if it involves calling someone up. That's not actually true. It's more like 6 times out of 10, which is like a 2/3 success rate, or 2/3 failure rate. Sorry, that's actually the wrong way around, wasn't it? Yeah, 2/3 failure rate, which is not that great, obviously. Still, it's better than the 90% failure rate I suppose I was saying it was, so that's something, but it's not a whole lot. Yeah, so obviously I don't want to do that. I mean, I might if it turns out that I really want to play it. And there's some really cool stuff going on in Old Republic right now. I was going to say Knights of the Old Republic. Totally different game. In Old Republic that I really want to do. I mean, playing as a Jedi has been, like, the thing I've loved to do. That was, like, the thing in, like, what, the early 2000s, late 90s? That was fantastic. More of that, please. Let me just dive up here and taunt this guy. There you go. Just so I can pick up this. There you go. Okay, I don't think we actually got the counter there, so what? Alright. Yeah, so I mean, playing as a Jedi or even playing as a smuggler or something would actually be kind of fun. Going alone, though, I'm not sure about that. Hey, Lynn, you can go and join the voice if you're up for it, if you're up and ready. I'm just battling to myself here. KOTOR is totally different, Linz. I'm not talking about KOTOR, I'm talking about Old Republic, which is the MMO. Now, if you want to play the MMO, I'm totally on board with that too. I just want to make sure you're clear on what you'd be signing up for. Yeah, I didn't think so. I mean, I wish Knights of the Old Republic was multiplayer. That would be awesome. And if BioWare ever gets, I don't know, unbought by EA, however the hell that would work, they'd probably make Old Republic 3 multiplayer. They'd probably do it. Sadly, we're never going to see that world. The world we are in, the timeline we are in, we have Star Wars Old Republic instead, which is still a solid game. It's just, you know, it's an MMO, and it's going to be a time sink because of that. I mean, you can go, there is like a really dedicated story in the MMO. This is why I want to play it. It's like a story-focused MMO. But it also requires, you know, 70,000 hours, and I just don't have that kind of time. I mean, there's so many other games I want to play. But yeah, in Old Republic, you can go dark side. You can be like a dark side Jedi working for the Republic, or you can be a light side Sith working for the Empire. It's actually kind of a cool idea. You can be everything in between, too. You can be neutral, you can be a smuggler, you can be a bounty hunter, you can be a spy, you can be various other things. It's fantastic. It's a great concept. I played it ages ago before my authentication got lost. I'd love to play more, but there we go. We got 256. Let's play Divinity. Yeah, I think we're slated for beating Divinity at this rate probably around... oh, son of a bitch. I wasn't paying attention. Probably going to be slated for beating Divinity somewhere in the year 2022, I think, is our currently... Might be 2021. We'll see. I mean, if we do, like... What are we at now? We're on session 18? We're on session 18. We've been at this for about 4 months. Let's assume that's going to be regular. So another 4 months to get another 18 episodes in. They're about 3 hours each, roughly, really more like 2.5. So we're at roughly the 40-hour mark right now, just to give you an idea. I don't know if there's another level, though. That's the thing. Smidgies and Blue Foxy have been playing this off-camera, so they have a much better idea of what to expect. I saw Blue Foxy had an achievement. When I was signed on to PlayStation the other day playing Spider-Man, he had a rare hidden achievement for this game. For not for Pac-Man, obviously, but for Divinity: Original Sin 2. He had a rare hidden achievement. Don't know what it is, but he's been playing it more so that he can get those achievements, or probably not specifically for the achievements. But I'm tracking you, Blue Foxy. Tracking you. Is it gonna be tight? Haha, we did it. That felt good. That was really good. Yeah, so, I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking of what games I'm going to be playing after Spider-Man, more or less. I mean, what we play after Divinity is, like, so far in the future, I'm not even considering it right now. Like, what am I going to play after Spider-Man? I have no idea. I mean, Skyrim's always a possibility because I have it, and why the hell not? Could play Fallout New Vegas. Actually, Enderall, which is the mod for Skyrim, it's been getting really good press. People love it. Could be doing that. The problem I have with Skyrim, I think, is more the combat than anything else. The combat just sucks. It's not tactical at all. I don't know, especially after playing like Dark Souls and The Witcher. I mean, it does not compare to those favorably in the least. But it is kind of fun to just Fushro Da and, you know, blow someone's head off or whatever. So there's something to that. Or playing a sniper build or whatever it is you do in Skyrim. And there's possibilities there. I mean, Enderall is based on the same combat engine, so they didn't do anything too special there. But the story at least is supposed to be like really good, so that's why that's tempting. Just kill you guys. Okay, didn't die right here probably, unless we do something really special like that. That's great. Oh, we still lucked out there. Okay, but assuming let's say AAA is off the table. All right, so that leaves Independence. So then, yeah, Outward is definitely something I'd be willing to try out. Or Tabletop Sim if I can get a bunch of people together. But that's, who knows if that's going to happen. Not to mention we'd have to make that like a regular thing. I don't know if that's going to happen either, especially with Divinity on the table. Could go back to GeoGuessr, but it's been a while since Kat's played, and she's kind of in school right now, so don't want to distract her from important scholarly work. So I'm not sure. Oh shit, this is bad. How about you hang over there? Okay, you're going into the glitch, no worries. Oh, yeah, we totally made it out. Alright, we're good. This guy's gonna come by and eat her. Here, eat laser death. Very important to eat laser death right now. Oh, and in Divinity, right, I have this like mental note that I'm going through right now. It's like, you know, when you get into the car, you check for your keys and your wallet and all that shit. Before I play a video game, I have a mental checklist I go through. The mental checklist just popped up right now going, hey, you know, you need... Oh, son of a bitch, that was horrible. You need to allocate points into summoning, because your summoning is actually on level 9 right now. That is correct. I will try to remember that, although who knows when we're going to level up. We need to be better at our fights.
We need Charles!
We do totally need Large Charles. We need Large Charles. Hey, Smidgies.
Hello.
Hey, maybe you can tell me, maybe in a no-spoiler type of way. I am in the point in Spider-Man where the Sinister Six have broken out of the raft, and I've started cleaning up the town. How much of the game do I have left?
Maybe like 30%?
Okay. Alright. The save file I have says 80% done, but I don't know how much, like, time-wise that means.
Yo, I'm getting some food, just wanted to check in.
It's all good. I'm totally not eating eggless cookie dough that I just made.
Way to not make me feel jealous.
I can give you the recipe, it's super easy.
Does it have 3 ingredients? Because that's my max.
That's your
well,
max?
Then no.
How? What? Wait a minute.
5 if I'm
Hold up.
caring.
No, back up. You only eat food with 3 ingredients in it? Or you only make food
Well, I
with 3
mean,
ingredients in it?
I only make food with 3 ingredients, and sometimes I'll be daring and add some spices and stuff to make 5.
Well, okay,
but
so
that's
spices
about
don't count towards the ingredient max. I think that's fair.
Okay.
But okay, so like burritos would be, I mean, beans, cheese, tortilla. There's your 3. You're okay. But like
Yeah.
most of the stuff I can think of has more than 3 ingredients. Like if I want to make fajitas, that's like bell peppers, onions, and mushrooms, and that's like not even putting it inside the tortilla yet. So
Well, that's
like
where we're different, Piece. The
So,
things
like-
I make are like pasta, cheese, and chicken, or brown rice, cheese, and chicken, or...
I'm noticing a theme here. Most of your recipes involve cheese and chicken. Or is that only what you have in front of you?
or a DiGiorno pizza.
With
Okay.
cheese and chicken on it.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, actually. I love cheese and chicken. I can do it all day. You know, even a burrito with cheese and chicken and maybe some rice.
And a tortilla, right? Or does the tortilla not count? Does that not count as an
I
ingredient?
mean, it depends if I want to go for like one of those breadless bowls or whatever, but yeah.
Okay, if it's a breadless bowl, it's not a burrito. At that point, it stops being a burrito, and now it's a salad.
It's an inside-out burrito.
No, that's not a thing. If you go to Mexico and you ask for a burrito, they're gonna hand you something wrapped in tortilla. All right, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but isn't a burrito an American thing? Or was that the taco?
Made me lose my concentration.
I'm watching you play, by the way. You're
Yeah,
doing
I'm
pretty
doing
good.
horribly right now because I'm
Oh
talking.
shit,
and
oh
doing
shit,
stuff.
oh shit,
Yeah.
oh, you're dead. You're dead.
Yeah, so that gives you guys an indication of delay.
You got upset by me talking about burritos. I
Well,
understand.
because, it's the whole, what constitutes a taco in America as opposed to... But yeah, burrito is basically Tex-Mex speak. Taco is what everything is. An enchilada is a taco. A burrito is a taco. A
Oh.
fajita is a taco.
I see.
Taco just means that you have these ingredients, usually beans, rice, and tortilla, in some combination.
Yum yum yum.
The
I'm
fact
getting
that
hungry.
it's,
You know what I'm gonna have for
fried
dinner?
up or whatever. You're gonna have cheese,
chicken and cheese?
and something else.
I'm gonna have cereal.
Is it cheese and chicken cereal?
I wish. Let's talk more about that. No, but
Oh,
milk.
what if they made a
frosted
little
mini
chicken and
wheats.
waffle cereal?
But actually, that's only 2 ingredients.
Well, but waffles have like a bajillion ingredients in them. Or at least 6.
That's only if I'm making the waffle and not not toasting
And
them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so actually this is the beginner's guide to cooking, is that you cheat whenever possible. So like if you wanted chicken and waffles and you didn't want to make the waffles yourself, you could have Eggo and waffles, and you're still cooking the chicken, so it's not as, say, horribly unhealthy as, going out to eat, but it's still technically cooking. And so you just cheat a little bit. That's all. That's totally okay.
And those are such weird waffles.
They are very weird waffles, but if
I enjoy them, but they're very weird compared to regular waffles.
All right. Speaking of all this food, I'm gonna get my cereal. I'll be right back.
Okay, but like cereal for dinner though? I mean, I guess it's okay.
I do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do it if there's nothing
I
else
do
in
that
the
sometimes.
house, but I try to make sure there's other stuff in the house. Like,
Actually, usually it's more me just like, I'm feeling lazy. My new job is been very enjoyable, but it's like it's more exhausting than my old job. So at the end of the day, I'm just like, I don't feel like doing anything.
yeah, but like cans of soup, I mean, that takes almost as much effort. And technically, I could see that being a dinner more than cereal would be. Like, cereal is just bread, is my problem.
That's true. I just like cereal.
That's fair.
I haven't found. Well, I don't hate soup, but I don't have a particular love for a lot of canned soups.
So my
Although
favorite
there
would
was
have
one.
to be the Progresso. They're pretty good.
There was one that Campbell's does. It's their chunky line, which is like the big
Oh,
cans.
yeah. Those are good. Yeah, the ones you don't have
and
to
there's
add water
one.
to.
It's a yeah. It's a buffalo chicken one. It's pretty tasty, but for some reason I can only find it like during the winter. At least that's my Ralph's baby. But it's pretty good. If you add a little bit of like blue cheese in there and eat it with some crackers, it's delicious.
I've not seen that one. The jambalaya one is pretty good.
I've had the chicken and dumplings. It's not bad.
That was okay, but I don't know. The dumplings taste weird to me. Oh, oops. I don't know what it is exactly. I think maybe I'm used to my mom's dumplings, and I'll use her recipe whenever I make dumplings, and they taste weird.
Well, I guess, that makes sense. I didn't exactly grow up eating dumplings, so I'm just like, I don't know.
But my mom always made it with
sometimes
with
those
chicken.
soups, I miss potatoes.
That's totally fair. Yeah, the Progresso has a lot of potatoes in their soups, like the minestrone and the garden vegetable all have potatoes in them. And that's nice, because you don't usually see that in a soup. Or not in a commercial
Yeah,
soup anyway.
the buffalo chicken one has potatoes, but yeah, if you want like the chicken noodle, like the noodles are the carb versus the potato. You can't have noodles and potatoes for some reason.
That's true. I never thought about that, but yeah, I've never had a commercial soup with both. Huh. That must be like a deciding factor or something. There's got to be a reason for that.
Does it have noodles? Can't have potatoes. Does it have potatoes? Can't have noodles. We just don't do that.
It's like it changes the chemistry or something when it's in the can.
They don't mix well together. They hate each other.
That was close.
So guess whose TV is still broken? Me.
Still? I thought they were supposed
Still
to fix that
broken.
by now. It's been 2 weeks.
They were supposed. It's been 3 weeks.
Oh, you're right. It's been 3.
It's been almost 3.5. They came the first time, and then they were like, okay, we'll come back the following week, and then the part didn't arrive. So then they were supposed to come back again this past Tuesday, 2 days ago, and the part still hadn't arrived. And I was just like, the part's not here. So I've taken off from work for 2 days. Well, I mean, their work has been very cool, and they've let me work from home. But I've had to not work for 2 days because of this TV, and it's still broken. I'm going to try and go to Best Buy this weekend and plead my case for an exchange credit, because the guy on the phone, the Geek Squad guy, was like, you can try. He's like, some stores, the manager's cool, they'll deal with you. So I'm going to just put on my nicest. I'm never mean. But I'm going to put on my nicest, can you please work with me face.
Well, especially
another
since
television.
they've been stringing you along for 3 weeks, I would think that would at least get you some kind of credit you'd be able to use on a new TV.
That's all I want. I mean, I just want I'm honestly, I kind of plan on even upgrading. I kind of want to get a fancy TV, like one of the OLEDs, blah blah blah, because I like technology. So I'd still end up paying a little more than like TV's actually credited for.
What TV do you have right now?
A broken one.
I mean, what kind is it?
It's a Sony.
Okay, I was just wondering if it was like a Best Buy brand, because they might be, I don't know, more.
Does Best
No,
Buy
it's
have
not a-
branded TV?
It's not a shit TV.
It's I forget what it's called. They have a specific brand name. It's not called Best Buy. It's called something else, and they're all over Best Buy. Insidia or
Oh, yeah, those are not
Oh,
good
it's-
TVs. Yeah, that's the Insignia one, yeah.
Insignia.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so there was a little bit where I was trying to please my grandmother, and she wanted me to buy all American products. That's actually harder than you think it is, especially for TVs. So the only American-made one that I could find was Insignia brand, and even that wasn't 100%. It was like 60% American-made. Mostly they outsourced all the parts and then assembled it in America, which is as close as I could get.
Can't you lie to her?
Well, I'm trying to be
Toshiba
nice
is
to my
totally
grandmother,
American.
okay? She's gonna be 90 in another couple of years. It's gonna be a thing. So, trying to please her. But that TV lasted me 2 years before it broke down irreparably.
Yeah, that's not long.
No, it was total junk. And because of that, I abandoned the whole buying American thing. So
I don't like American cars, no offense. I've only had problems.
no, Chevy and Toyota, Ford, those are decent brands. I mean, they make good trucks. They're not so good with the economy cars yet, but they're slowly getting there, I think.
I love my Honda.
You do have
All
a pretty good
4
car.
of them
That's a
that
pretty
I
nice
have.
car.
I'm probably gonna get one of those when I upgrade my car at some point.
Nice. I highly recommend it.
I used to
Well,
have one
I
as my first car.
Honda Civic?
Yeah, 97 Civic.
Yes.
It was that forest green color, like so many of them were back then.
Why?
What do you mean? Why? It was a nice color.
Was it secondhand, or did you actually pick that color?
Oh, it was secondhand.
Mhm. My first Honda was my grandmother's. She didn't drive very much, so it only had like, I don't know, a few thousand miles on it, and it was like a 92 Honda Accord in like champagne purple color. It was such a grandmother car.
Wait a minute.
Like
There's
interior,
champagne that comes in purple?
it's like a purplish champagne, and the inside was like a little bit purple too. It's dark purple.
I'm drinking
Like
the
old
wrong
lady
kinds of
hair.
champagne.
You don't drink at all.
Well, that too, but I mean, I might drink more if it came in fruity colors. I mean,
It doesn't taste fruity. I'll tell
well,
you
it
that.
doesn't have to. I'm just saying, if it came in like neon orange, I'd be a little more tempted than if it just came in, here's this ugly mud color. Go ahead and take a swallow of poison. What the hell?
Or as my mom used to call it, stick around brown.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Could you, when you have a chance,
No.
I know Zach's not here,
No.
but start the game
No.
because my.
No.
Well, if you want me
No.
to take fucking 20 minutes to log in.
Actually, could you? That'd be great. Could you just spend like good 30 minutes logging in? In fact, could you actually spend the time?
All right, you want me to start the game?
I just want to not do this while, when Zach's here, we can just start instead of me having to, because I have next week off. I'll try to reinstall the game and see if that fixes it, because I'm still having that weird thing where
Why
I
do you
have to log
next
in.
week off?
Spring
That's
break.
just for some reason. My studio is like, everyone's on hiatus next week, and so I just have the week off for some reason.
Oh.
I can't complain too much. That's another thing I'm really bummed about my TV is because my new appointment is not until next Thursday. I'm like, I wanted to spend my whole week just enjoying. I was planning on getting Sekiro and playing that, and I want to finish Hollow Knight and all. I mean, I can still play it on my Switch, but I want to play it on the big TV. I was like, I just want to play video games, and my TV's still broken, and it will be for most of next week. If they could even fix it on Thursday, which that's not even guaranteed, the part still might not show up.
No, at this point, I would have given up. I would have given up a week ago. Easy. I would have said, screw this, and just gone and bought a new TV.
I will probably crack tomorrow or sometime this weekend. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna try and haggle. And even if they say no, I might just be like, fuck it. I need a TV.
So, is your TV under 42 inches?
No.
Okay, because I have a 55-inch Sony, and I called upon Geek Squad, and luckily they came the next day. And the only thing they did was scan the Best Buy barcode on the back of my TV, ask me what's wrong, and they're like, okay, we're gonna order the parts. So a week later they came and they had to come to my apartment, and they just opened the back of my TV and replaced the part, and it's still having one of the issues. So I had 2 issues. One is my TV shut off out of nowhere the last time we were playing, And when I got home that day, the TV was off and I couldn't turn it on unless I unplugged the TV and plugged it back in. But the other issue that I was having...
Didn't it turn out that you were actually blocking the heat vents so it couldn't output any of its heat? So you were just suffocating your TV?
I changed all of that. I changed all of that. There's like nothing there now. But you were right. I did have stuff near the fence, but now there's nothing. And they did exchange the part, and I'm still hearing the clicking. Even if my TV is off for hours, I still hear clicking. So I don't know what that is. I mean, if it's off for hours, it shouldn't still be making that clicking noise. So I'm kind of like,
the
what
problem
do
with
I
smart
say to them?
TVs, smart TVs are never actually off. They're always on because they're always downloading an update or something. So I have stopped buying smart TVs. I buy dumb TVs and then I buy like a Roku stick or a Fire Stick or whatever, so that I can always upgrade the smart
part of the smart. Yeah, I don't even use the smart part. I didn't know there was even an option not to get a smart TV. So
I've been going
cheaper.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I would love it.
See, I've been going through the similar situation as you. Because it's a bigger TV, they came out. Unfortunately, it was not as quick for me. I called on Monday. They came out on Friday. That Friday, so 4 days later. Did the same thing. I told him what the problem was. He looked at the back of the TV and took down the information and all that stuff. And then he was like, I think it's this. I'll order the parts and, same deal. And then one part arrived, which he just ordered. He's like, sometimes the AC adapters go bad, and we'll just get you one of those just in case, even though I don't think that's the problem. And then we'll get you this power. He called it a power board, some kind of circuit board for the TV. And I got a box, and I assumed both parts were in the box, but when I opened it up, it was just the AC adapter and not the power board. And any idiot can plug in an AC adapter, so I tried that, and I'm like, what a surprise, TV is still broken. So I texted him because this was at the time of my second appointment the following week, and I was like, the part is not here. So he rescheduled my appointment, and fortunately it hadn't been that long that I was able to go to work, even though I was supposed to work from home. And then he was like, yeah, it shows the part's not supposed to arrive until March 29th, and this was on like March 21st. This was like March 21st.
China?
I don't know. And so even March 29th didn't show up. I was supposed to I had an appointment this past Tuesday, and the part still wasn't there, and but for some reason the guy that I dealt with previously, I told him, I was like, the part's still not here, but I guess they assigned me somebody new, so I got a call from a different guy, and they were like, we see your part's still not here. So, he was nice and everything, and he's like, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do, and I was like, I know, I understand. And he said, and they don't even have for some reason, I can't even find a tracking number. They didn't supply it, so I don't even know where the fuck this part is.
So they can't order a new one? I mean, what the hell is wrong with them?
I don't know. This is part of the reason I want to try and plead my case to the manager and just be like, hey, can you please work with me here? And there's no guarantee that the part will arrive by this time I'm supposed to have my appointment a week from today. Oh, hey, it worked the first time. That's good. And so the guy told me if it doesn't arrive by the time my next appointment happens, that opens up an option for starting a possible exchange. I don't know if it's a guarantee, but the fact.
What's wrong with your TV?
He said that. It won't turn on at all. It will not turn on. Plugged in. The guy was like, I think it's the power board, which is some circuit thing that controls the whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they replaced on mine, and it only took a week. And I have a Sony also.
Well, I guess you might have a model that the part is more. How old's your TV?
2 years. Almost 2. I got it in
So
November.
the part's probably more available. My TV is 5 years old, which apparently is ancient.
So you bought Geek Squad?
Okay, so when I first got my TV, this is a little story.
Yeah, bring it on.
I had a friend of mine help me because my old TV I was able to carry myself. It was a 40-inch, and I was able to, barely manage. But with a 55-inch TV, it's a lot bigger, and I needed somebody's help. So I had a friend come over and help me, set it up, and he was with me when I got it and helped me bring it in the house and put it on my TV stand and everything. And then I turned it on, and it had some dead pixels, and I was like, God damn it! So I, wanted to exchange it for a TV with not dead pixels. Yeah. And as he was helping me take it off my TV stand, I was doing something, and we were both trying to do something different, and he wasn't paying attention and let the TV drop, and it hit the corner of my coffee table, like the screen.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, oh, fuck. But I didn't turn it back on to see what happened.
What'd you do?
So I took it back to the store because I already called and was like, my TV's got some dead pixels and blah, blah. And so when I took it back and they plugged it in to see what had happened, the screen was fucked up. You couldn't tell when it was off, but when they turned it on, like there was all the cracks and shatters, and they were just, they were like, oh my God. And I just played dumb. I played completely dumb. I was like, oh my God, what the hell? I didn't, I was just like, I played into it, and they gave me another one.
Oh, wow.
And out of guilt, because I didn't buy the Geek Squad at the time, and out of sheer guilt, I was like, I'll pay for the 5-year plan.
Well, it's a good thing you did, because you're using it now.
Yeah, well, am I?
You'd like to use it if only they would actually, give you the thing you want.
Yeah, my Toshiba was amazing. It lasted like 6 or 7 years, and I didn't have any Geek Squad stuff. And this TV, I had not even 2 years. I did get Geek Squad because my friend works at Best Buy, so I'm like, I'll help support you and help you with your revenue income or whatever. And so I got Geek Squad, and good thing I did, because, my TV, I don't know, had some issues. It's still, I don't hear the click right now, but I have headphones on, so I don't know. The other day I was trying to monitor it and see, like, how many minutes in between I'm hearing the click noise, and it was around every 10 minutes when my TV was on, I could hear the click. So I'm just trying to, I want to give them good information. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, but it will probably take me the weekend to like play with the TV and turn it on and see when it starts and things like that. So I'm glad I have Geek Squad this time. It's like the more expensive the TV, the more it needs to have a warranty.
So I don't know. It more sounds like you guys got shitty TVs and you guys have the tech support so that you don't spend money on a better TV. That's kind of what it sounds like.
I have a Sony Bravio. That's, I guess, a shitty TV then.
I mean, I don't know. But from what the stories I've heard, yes, that's actually sounds like a shitty TV because it sounds like you have a shitty experience. But
actually, my brother has the exact same TV as me. I'll ask him if he... Well, he would maybe say if he probably won't even pay attention to his TV. I'm sure he's not paying attention.
I mean, I imagine my case would be a very simple fix if the stupid part would get here.
Yeah. Zach should be here soon. I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back.
Other than this one thing, which was my TV, it's not like my TV was showing signs of like, oh, something might be wrong. It was just normal, poof, broken.
So I'm not exactly sure what a power board is, but I mean, if it's a power supply, that'll definitely happen. You won't get any signs until that power supply craps out.
Well, they gave me a new one of those, and that didn't solve the problem. So it's
that was the AC adapter, right? Not the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if it's like the actual power supply inside the system... And
I don't... Maybe.
Taking it apart and putting it back together again, which is not going to be easy or cheap.
Yeah. That's what he called it. He was just like, oh, I think you need a new power board, which I assume is some kind of circuit board, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it might direct how the power is used in the TV, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. That sounds kind of like it. And I totally thought it was my PlayStation at first because the image just froze on my TV, and I wasn't using the smart features. I was watching Netflix through my PlayStation, so I just kind of assumed it was my PlayStation's fault.
Well, it kind of sounds like your PlayStation's having other problems, though.
Honestly, I was debating. I was like, if I do end up upgrading and getting a fancy like 4K TV, I'm like, maybe I should just get a fucking Pro while I'm at it. And get a nice fancy PlayStation.
You got money to burn? Go for it.
I mean, I did get. I was a little worried about my PlayStation a little while ago. It was showing some. It was acting a little funny, and it cleared up whatever it was. But thinking about it, I was like, I really have gotten a bunch of use out of it. I literally use this thing almost daily, but whether it's Netflix, Hulu, mostly video games. But I'm like, I've really used the shit out of this thing. So if I have to replace it after 5 years, I did pretty good considering I used this thing almost exclusively. With the Switch sprinkled in here and there.
I got a PS Pro because I want to support Sony because I've had a fantastic time. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn was great. God of War, Spider-Man now, Red Dead Redemption coming out.
They definitely...
Yeah.
They have the best...
best exclusives,
like,
for sure.
all the best exclusives, barring, the occasional Nintendo thing, which those are fewer and farther between. Speaking of which, I heard that Animal Crossing is delayed, and I'm very upset.
Yep, got delayed. What was it 6 months? Was it? I forget. Something like that.
I just heard I heard to 2020, whatever that means.
Oh, that might actually be a full year because it was supposed to come out this year, I think.
But I don't even know when that was. They just said it just was like 2019, but nobody knew when. I kind of assumed they were going to make a big showing out of E3, but now I don't know if they will. Like in the wake of the whole Metroid thing, it sounded like they were re-examining other games, and Animal Crossing was one of them.
That's going to delay my Switch purchase for sure. I mean, I should probably buy one anyway because I want to play Zelda. Though, what I really want to do is buy a Switch and then instantly emulate it, because there is an emulator mod for Zelda where you can play as Zelda.
Oh.
And you have to rescue Link, so they just swapped it around. They have to change some of the dialogue and stuff to make it work, but it's like 90% there. So I definitely want to play that, but I don't think I can justify it if I don't actually, own the Switch.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I try to make sure that if I'm emulating something, I at least own the physical copy of the game somewhere.
Own the thing, yeah.
Yeah. And it seems like I should have the hardware for the Switch. But I definitely want to play that mod, because I've been wanting a Legend of Zelda game where you actually play as Zelda. I'm just surprised they haven't done that yet.
Maybe they'll do that one day.
I mean, they kind of did it with the Dynasty Warriors knockoff they did. What was it, Hyrule Warriors? Yeah, I know, it's not that great, but, they tried.
Her name is Linkle, and I hate it!
Oh, it's Linkle, it's not even, that's right, it's not even Zelda.
I hate it! I hate it so much!
That's right, it's not even Zelda.
I mean,
I totally forgot. It's because she looks like Zelda, doesn't she?
I mean, they kind of look similar, It's generic androgynous anime person. I don't know. I thought of this earlier. Did you guys read the Kotaku piece about BioWare?
No.
Oh yeah, about how the Frostbite engine they're using is actually total garbage.
Well, it was like a whole expose on their their working practices. They interviewed like 19 people that worked there. Everybody was anonymous, and they just all talked about how, which is a similar story to a lot of studios, really, but how super stressful it was, and a lot of people would have like mental breaks and have to get doctor's notes, take stress leaves from work for months at a time, just super low morale. And they didn't name names, and they weren't like, blaming anybody specifically. It was just overall like bad practice, and like just studios in general. And then within 15 minutes, BioWare PR had put out a response that was super just like flippant. It was like they had it ready to go.
Well, they did have it ready to go because they released it, like you said, 15 minutes. So they didn't even read.
15 minutes.
They didn't even read the original complaint. They just had something available. They must have heard something was in the pipeline around that line.
Yeah.
And that's what they released.
And their statement was like, we don't condone tearing down individuals that made this game, which Kotaku didn't do. They didn't name anybody. It was just really...
Yeah, so there's a streamer who used to work for BioWare, named Care Level 0. He specifically is not commenting on this because he doesn't want to get into the whole thing. But from what he said before, it's definitely, ever since EA bought BioWare, there's been more and more rumblings. And
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, it's no surprise at all. EA loves to kill off companies after they buy them, and BioWare's lasted a little bit longer than others, and it's kind of surprising it's lasted as long as it has, but EA being poison is nothing new to anybody who's familiar with EA.
It was interesting because I think the part of the expose article was talking about how a lot of people at the company were hoping that Dragon Age 3 would fail, and they were disappointed when it didn't, because that just meant like crap. More of the same.
Wait, is Dragon Age 3? That's right, that's Inquisition, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't actually have a number attached. That's what threw me for a minute there. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, Inquisition, which that's my first Dragon Age game. I hadn't played the other two.
Oh, I played the first one.
I tried playing the first.
I never touched the other ones.
I tried playing the first one, and at the time, I couldn't really get into it.
Well, going from 3 to 1 is kind of a tough sell, I think.
No, I mean, I played 1 before 3 was even, like,
I'm dead.
Anything. I just wasn't super into it at the time.
1 does take a while to get into. It takes probably a good 4 or 5 hours before you can actually get comfortable in the world. You're not done with the tutorial until, like, 3 hours in.
Maybe that was my problem then.
It's not quite Final Fantasy levels, but it's pretty close.
But that game, I didn't really realize it until thinking about it now. But both that game and Andromeda, while I enjoyed them at the time, and obviously Andromeda is not nearly as good as the original trilogy, but I enjoyed it fine. But they're both, I call them like checklist games, because the gameplay doesn't feel particularly like, it just feels like every world I go to, I'm like, okay, check shit off the list before I go to the next world, and it's not that fun!
No, it's definitely a formulaic, and not even like a good formula. It's just like you say, it's a checklist that you need to do to make sure that you get the best ending or whatever. And they tell you explicitly.
I know they wanted to, like, try their hand at open world, like, the hotness, and they wanted to try their hand at it, but it just didn't really work for Andromeda. Or, I don't remember Dragon Age quite as well, but, I don't know, I guess I'm used to the linear storytelling in Mass Effect, and they probably shouldn't have gone open world.
Well, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with linear storytelling. I just finished the Uncharted series, and that's all linear, and I had no problems with following a linear path. I think that was very well done.
It works, stories usually works better for story-driven, I love Last of Us, that's linear.
Oh yeah, linear as hell. Any of the Tales games, really. Anything from Telltale.
And a lot of times, Witcher is different, but there's plenty of open world games that are very enjoyable, but they're more enjoyable from the gameplay standpoint and the exploration rather than, like, the story specifically, because the Skyrim story, like, I don't even remember what the fuck happened. I was just like, this game is just fun to be in.
Yeah, I was thinking of playing through Skyrim again, because I don't remember the story either, but I remember having fun, and I want to see if I can, like, recapture that, but there's not as many mods for the Enhanced Edition, and I do want to play that.
Yeah, that's true.
I might do the voice attack, so I get to do the shouts in real time.
I mean, yeah, heck, I played through Skyrim twice, and each playthrough was like 200 hours.
Yeah.
It's a fun game. Although I could never bring myself to kill that dragon as part of the Blades quest line. I was just like, nope, not doing it.
So that might have actually... So, I think you have to kill him unless you get the mod for it to let you skip it.
Well, I think, like, I guess I was able to do an end to the, like, the Civil War storyline. Because I beat Alduin and everything, but I thought that, like, he was just part of the Blades quest, which I didn't think was part of the main story, but maybe I don't remember.
I don't know, it's been a while. I mean, Skyrim came out, what, almost a decade ago now?
2011.
2011. So
8 years.
Almost not quite. Yeah, okay. Oops, alright. Pass.
And they teased, obviously they teased Elder Scrolls 6 at the last E3, but that's probably not going to come out for like 8 years.
Yeah, they showed a loading screen, is effectively what that was.
Yep.
I remember when they did the same thing for Oblivion back in the day, and they did that probably 2 years before the game actually was anywhere close to ready. And it was just the shot of Cyrodiil. That was all it was.
We don't even know what Starfield is going to look like, and that's supposed to come out before Elder Scrolls 6 does.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, wouldn't be their first foray into space, but I think the last one actually they just published. I don't think they actually developed, so this might actually be their first foray into space. I think the last one was...
Prey?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Prey, you're right. I was thinking like Starships.
They just published.
Yeah, but yeah, that was the publishing. Actually, is this being developed in-house? I kind of got the impression it was, but maybe I'm wrong.
Prey?
Yes. No, Starfield.
I think so.
I mean, I'm curious, but until I see like actual gameplay footage, I'm not going to get too excited.
Yeah. Oh, and Borderlands 3 is coming out this year, so I finally have a game to look forward to, because as far as I can think of, there's nothing this year that I'm like, yes, I can't wait.
So I really want to play Outward, because that's been getting a lot of Twitch streamers are playing Outward, and it looks really fun. And that's an open world RPG with technically you never die, you just get captured or pulled off into somewhere or something like that. And there's survival elements to it. It looks very promising. But that's, I mean, I can't think of a game coming out in the next couple of months that I'm looking forward to. I mean, Assassin's Creed is finally going to be done with all its DLC. That's nice, I guess. Tomb Raider is finally going to be done with all its DLC. That's probably what I'm going to be playing sometime in the future. But yeah, like, what's coming out? Like, I don't even know anymore. They keep their stuff so close to the vest.
And so much of the stuff I'm looking forward to that I know of, none of it has a release date. Last of Us 2, no release date. Cyberpunk 2077, no release date. Obviously, like, Bethesda stuff, no release date.
Yeah. Yeah,
Animal Crossing 2020!
Well, that's why I was thinking, like, maybe I need to be doing more indie titles, because, I mean, that doesn't give me any, like, trailers 2 years ahead of time or anything, but that might be the only saving grace this year, is just a whole bunch of indie stuff. Like, Into the Breach was fantastic, and I loved it, and I played the hell out of that game. Give me another End of the Breach like, and I'll be set. That'll be good for like another 3 months at least.
I still don't know when another game I'm looking forward to that I kind of keep forgetting about. Psychonauts 2, but I don't think there's a date on that yet either, and it's already beyond what they said they were going to do when they fundraised for it in 2015.
They fundraised for that game in 2015?
2015, and they said at that time they said 2018, and guess what? It's 2019 now. So hopefully they'll talk about it at E3 this year, because Psychonauts is one of my favorite games of all time. Love that game.
I mean, it usually takes 2 years to develop a game. If they're at the 3-year level, they must be having some serious problems. Or they're making a hell of a big game.
We'll see.
It'd be funny if they make an open world RPG. It's Skyrim. Skyrim Psychonauts might actually be kind of fun, now that I think about it.
I still think they should make an open world game in like a super stylized format like that. I think it would be awesome.
Yeah, do like Borderlands cell shading type of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
and you don't even have to do like real, the Psychonauts is like got that crazy Scott C artwork that I love. All those wonky shapes and stuff.
you could probably do a game like that. I mean, yeah, you could probably do it. It wouldn't be as easy to model.
What written rule is there to say that everything must be super realistic?
Borderlands was almost super realistic until they changed it the last 6 months in development. They changed all the art.
Really?
Yeah, cell shaded, yeah. If you look at the old magazine covers when they were first hyping Borderlands, it was all like super hyper realistic, like Mad Max like. And I guess they took a look at the writing and said, well, that doesn't match. So fuck that noise. We're going to make sure the art style matches up with the way we're writing it, which is over-the-top, cel-shaded comic book action.
And it holds up very well.
It does, yeah.
Over,
Yeah, that's my one. That's my one complaint about the hyper-realistic games is that they're not going to hold up in 10 years.
Yeah, it ages poorly.
Yeah.
Like Wind Waker, especially the HD version, still looks so good.
Yeah, like a cartoon brought to life, right? I mean, that's really well done.
My cat is having a love affair with my shoe right now. She's like, your running shoe smells so good!
Did you put catnip on your shoe or something?
No, I haven't done anything. I wore it running yesterday.
Maybe she just loved the smell of sweat.
It could be. It could be that. Zach, where are you?
He should be another 10 minutes. He said 45 minutes at about, almost 45 minutes ago.
Well, he did say he was doing some tech support for his family, so that could always take longer than you think it's going to take.
Well, he said he was on his way about 45 minutes ago.
Oh, so he was actually done with the tech support. All right.
Mm-hmm. Did you both get the invite? Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah. We're in game. I'm just still playing Pac-Man because at this point, why the hell not?
Yeah, I see you playing. I have my computer on.
And I was just so impressed it let me actually log in the first time.
Everything seems to be going smoothly. I guess it'll be a shortish session today and then no session next week.
Oh, that's right, because Zach's going on another junket, huh?
Mm-hmm. He's not too happy about that.
That is totally fair. He's done like 3 junkets in as many months.
Mm-hmm. He has to stop being so good at what he does, and then they won't ask him.
Yeah, sadly, that's probably not good for his overall career path.
I've asked him what he thinks about what he's doing, and if he likes what he's doing, and he says yes. I mean, I've asked him, what is the step above? Like, what about the people who don't travel as much? Do you want to do that job? Can you do that? But he doesn't seem like he seems just, content rather than going after something, Like, well, you know, just by being a little more pushy or whatever to get this other job where you don't have to travel as much, you know, then you're on your way to, you know, not having to do that.
Shit.
But you know, if he's happy doing what he's doing, there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very content person who doesn't complain. I complain.
And that's why you don't have his job.
Definitely not. I cannot do his job, I'm honestly saying. You know, there's just some things I'm really good at, and then a lot of things I'm really not good at. And luckily, my parents know I'm not good at certain things, so they ask that.
Yeah, I had a weird moment while I was doing tech support for my parents the other day. Just to provide a little bit of context, my dad was a software programmer before he retired. So the fact that I did any kind of troubleshooting at all, like, I don't know what that means. It's very weird. It kind of put me on the back foot a little bit, because I was like, Dad, you wrote something very similar to this. What the hell is going on here?
He just wants to see you.
I mean, maybe?
It's like the girl who breaks something to have the hot guy who fixes things come over.
I mean, that seems like that would be, like, prohibitively expensive method of picking somebody up, but okay. So
you
then,
seen that
Smidgies, is your
episode of-
TV actually broken? Because Lindsay just told me this is a new trick.
Yeah. There was an episode of Ally McBeal, I remember, where there was a really hot guy in a car in front of her. So she got around to being behind him and then rear-ended him so she could get his number. But that's Ally McBeal.
Alec McBeal, that was a while ago. That was...
Oh, a long time ago. But I remember that because I'm like, that's stupid. But yeah.
I mean, you tried it out for yourself, and it totally worked.
I would never do that. I love my car way too much, more than any man.
That might explain so much.
Yeah. My car is a lot more reliable than any man, but because I have David.
Because you're in charge of it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I just thought of this for some reason. What game supposedly might be coming out of the Switch, which is silly of me to mention this because I already own it and have played it, Persona 5.
So are you gonna play it on the Switch?
I might. It's a great game.
Is it actually worth a replay?
I'd play it again.
Okay, so how long did that game take you, though?
It depends on the person. I've heard people take 90 hours. It took me 120 because I was very thorough.
Okay, because there's this streamer I watch, and he's been playing Persona 5 for like the past 6 months, but he only plays it once a week. But he does like 5-hour streams, 6-hour streams sometimes.
Once a week for 6 months, so that's what, 25 weeks maybe? 26 weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
Times 5 hours? Yeah, you should be done.
Okay, he doesn't feel done. He's on like the 6th dungeon right now. But he's
Well,
not
he's
sure
really
how-
taking his time.
Okay.
Well, like, I mean, you know, obviously the days pass, but it's not, you know, real time or anything. So you could spend forever in a day if you just dick around and don't do anything.
Well, he's trying to max out some relationships and max out his personas, and of course he's building all the paperclips in the world. Because he never wants to miss out on a treasure, so...
I tried very hard to max out but I just couldn't. I mean, you can. There is a specific walkthrough that you can follow to max out everything on the first playthrough, but I'm like, I don't want to do that. That sounds too stressful. I have maxed out a lot of stuff, but Actually, if I really want to play it again, I should just keep playing on the PlayStation, because if you do a new game plus, you get to keep your social stats, so that unlocks dialogue and stuff earlier to max out other people. So,
That seems like that might be a
kinda,
shorter playthrough that way.
Yeah, it would. It probably would. And I think you get to keep like your fancier weapons as well. So yeah, you'd you'd hit a little harder.
Well,
from the
yeah,
beginning.
but
So
then
yeah,
the bad guys hit harder too. I mean, the new game plus is a trap. I learned that in Dark Souls.
well, I think you can still pick, like, I think Persona you can pick how hard it is. Like you can still. It doesn't have to be a harder game necessarily.
Oh, so you can go new game plus easy mode? That almost seems like cheating.
I think so.
Hey,
Hey
Fox.
everyone.
Hey,
Sorry. Mom needed some assistance.
Sending you an invite. Did you fix it? I thought you fixed that
Yeah.
issue for her before. There was an app that was running in the background.
Well, this one was that her phone wasn't connecting to the house Wi-Fi, so all of her data she was using directly off of the mobile plan.
What sucks is
And-
Dad couldn't help. What the hell?
I don't know, but whatever. So I had to get her back on the Wi-Fi. Unfortunately, it looks like she's gone over her data limit, so they're gonna give her a charge.